Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Bella, and I'm here to share the energies, the messages, and the channelings that I've been receiving from the female archetypes, goddesses, from the divine feminine, that I refused and held on to this for years for the fear of being misunderstood. And yet it's such a powerful force that has been working through me to transform my life and to bring through the knowledge that I've been sharing. But I need to speak directly from this source because the time is now for us to awaken and to bring back the power of the feminine, the power of the creatrix. Because if we don't take full space with the feminine, and I don't mean just women, the feminine energy needs to awaken in men and women alike. If we don't enable and embrace and embody in full force this energy that is coming from everywhere, from the universe, from the earth, from nature, from these divine feminine archetypes, we don't stand a chance of survival, because we need that equilibrium to be reestablished for life to go on. I want to share a little bit of my own story with all of you for you to understand why I've been receiving these messages and maybe what's the significance of all of this. I come from Armenia, and the story starts right there actually, because Armenia is a small country, poorly known, that was located actually in one of the most probable locations of the original Garden of Eden, where Tigris and Euphrates rivers spring from, is where my ancestors lived for centuries. And in my meditations and all the guidance that I've received, I am now aware that that's physical space, that energetic space, is where the tree of life is located. Energetically or symbolically, we don't have to go to that location to access it. But the idea is for us to reconnect to that creation story, to understand what went wrong and what we can regain from that garden, from the tree of life, from the tree of wisdom, so that we can reawaken the feminine. What went wrong in the last decades and centuries and millennia is started not in the garden, but it started in the way that we tell the story. And that's why in this first video, I wanna start correcting this. And this is not just me talking about this. There's a lot of people that share this information already, thank goodness, but I will tell it in my own way. When God created Eve, we hear about this as that Eve was the first woman, but in reality, prior to creating even Adam, God has created Lilith, and Lilith was the very first being, the first female that was created from the fiery energies. And when Adam came into being, he was not happy with the fact that Lilith wanted to be an equal. And literally it says in the page of the Bible that was ripped out from the modern version, but it still exists in the Torah, which, as you all know, we share we share our sacred books, we just don't admit it, right? Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, they share the same story of creation and we all share the ancestors, who, by the way, are three sons of Noah. Noah of the Noah's Ark, and Noah's Ark actually landed on Mount Ararat, which is located in Armenia, or was located in Armenia. We can still see it from Armenia, from everywhere. So I think you understand why I have such a strong connection to all of this. The energies in which I was, into which I was born, like being there for the first 10 years of my life has imbued me with that energy. And I am now, starting to slowly decipher what I energetically knew from the day of my birth. So Lilith didn't want to lay under Adam. She wanted to be on top of him. This is literally what it says in the story of creation. And she was given a warning because Adam asked God to basically take her, to teach her a lesson. And Lilith was given a warning, either obey or leave the garden. And Lilith decided to leave the garden because she realized that if she would have to change her constitution and stop being who she is if she obeyed. So she decided to be true to herself, but leave the garden. The time has come now for Lilith to come back and reclaim her place in the garden. Because basically what that story has created is that we have two choices as women. We are either the powerful feminine embodiment of the divine, and in a way that puts us outside of the garden to, trail on our own without the divine masculine on our side, or we become the obedient and subservient Eve archetype and we go back to the garden to be by the man, but then we lose part of who we are. We lose our power and divinity. And so the story of creation needs to be rewritten, where the woman takes her rightful place side by side with the divine masculine, not misplacing him, not overpowering him, but being together with him, but also realizing that she is the one that was given the power of creation. She's the only one that has the womb. Man doesn't. She is the only one that can transform her whole body to give life. Man doesn't. And to be connected to that divine feminine energy of creation is the first step in accepting, in embracing, and in embodying your femininity to its fullest. Being proud, and not just proud, but it's when you really realize what you are, you start taking up the space that you deserve. You start flourishing and you start expanding into who you truly were meant to be. So I'll stop with that story there, and I will continue with channelings and messages from Mary Magdalene, from Lilith herself, from Iemanjá, the goddess of water, from lots of other female archetypes that have spoken to me through written words, through poetry, through songs, and through just inner knowing. And I'm certain they have contacted you as well. So if you feel their voice is inside of you, you are not crazy. You are becoming who you truly were meant to be. And it's time that we accept this voice from the inside as the true and the only voice that can guide us. And so I invite you with this first video to really, really, really tune into that voice and follow it, hold on to it, to that thread that's gonna start guiding you.